Team Heart with Hustle. Here we are again with me, Joe Carden. I am so grateful to be here with you guys right now. Honestly, Molly and Caitlin asked me to talk with you because you guys are going to be at some sort of a retreat or get together. And from what I understand, you guys are the cream of the crop, which on Molly and Caitlin's team actually means quite a bit. You guys have been doing so fantastic. I'm very excited for your team and what you guys have been doing. So first of all, look over to the person next to you, give them a huge high five. And, you know, honestly, you guys deserve a little bit of recognition. So I wanted to start off with that. But Molly and Caitlin asked me to talk to you guys about leadership, right? So for those of you, I think most of you have been on a call with me before. For those of you who have not been on a call with me before, let me just explain a little bit about what I do and how I work with coaches and all that jazz. So my name is Joe Carden, and I am the regional sales manager for the Central region here in Beachbody. So I work with the 3 through 8 star coaches, and the 3 through 8 star coaches meet with me on a regular basis. At least most of them do. All the cool ones, just saying, like, right, Molly, raise your hand. But they talk to me about what their goals are, and I help them hit their goals, whether that's pushing for elite, whether that's pushing for rank advancement, earning more income, any of the things that you guys are really pushing for as a coach. Okay, so what I'm going to share with you guys today is how to unlock rank advancement, how to unlock elite points, how to unlock revenue, how to unlock really what you are pushing for as a coach, and more importantly, as a leader, okay? Because there's a definite distinction between the two. So let's start off with that point right there, okay? So I kind of classify your efforts as a coach into 2 different categories, right? There's the I do phase, and then there's the we do phase. So the I do phase is like purely the coach portion of it. I help people get good results. I help people live more healthy and fulfilling lives. I do my workout. I take my shake. I do my personal development. I reach out to new people. I build relationships. I get people in my challenge groups. I get people in my free groups. I get new coaches. All of those things are what I call, you know, the we do activity, or I mean the I do activities, excuse me. The I do activities are all of those things. The we do activities is where you start off as a coach, or as a leader. So these leaders are working with their team. They're helping their team essentially lock in the I do phase of their business, right? So you have the I do phase and you have the we do phase. What I want you guys to be very cognizant of and very careful of is that when you start working the business and you become a diamond coach, a 1-star coach, a 2-star coach, and your business is growing and, you know, you're rocking out the I do phase, but you see something happening in the we do phase. Maybe the coaches that you bring on are not doing what you want them to do, right? They're not going out there. They're not bringing in challengers. They're not connecting with people. They're not building relationships. They're not doing all that stuff. So what's the impulse that most leaders have? The impulse that most leaders have is going to be to dedicate all of your time and resources into these people. And you're like, work, please stand here. And you want to make them happy. You don't want them to leave. So you put all of your resources into the we do category. Guys, that will stagnate your business. Okay? Think of it this way. Let's use this example. Maybe some of you might have heard me talk about this before, but if you haven't, I hope it is helpful. Think of your business as a tree, okay? The tree has lots of different components. You've got the roots, you've got the branches, you've got fruit, you've got all these different things on the tree that's happening. And let's talk about what all those components would be in Beachbody terms, right? So the root of your Beachbody tree is recruiting. Okay, challenge packs and recruiting. So as you're selling challenge packs and you're transitioning those challenge packs sales over into potential coaches, you've got healthy roots. Now, as your healthy roots begin to grow, then you start building leaders, right? And these leaders are like your branches. And as you build more leaders, guess what comes? Rank advancements, revenue, recognition, all of that fun stuff. And that fun stuff, that rank, recognition, revenue, all that, that's like the fruit. And it's really easy in your business to get distracted by the branches and the fruit And if you're not careful, you take your eye off the ball with the recruiting. When you take the eye off the ball with the recruiting, your foot off the gas in that category, in the I do category, it slows everything down, right? Because here's what's going to happen, leaders, and maybe some of you have felt this before. What's going to happen is there will be a storm that will take place. The winds of life will blow, and the fruit will fall off your tree. The branches may break off. Things like that take place in business, okay? And it sucks. It hurts. It feels like you got kicked in the gut. And you're like, oh, man, Heather left my business, man. She was my best friend all through my life. How could you do that? Those things take place, right? You're going to have that happen. Now, here's a question for you. If you have super healthy roots, will you grow new branches? Yes, you will. But if your root system is weak and you don't have good support coming from your roots, what's going to happen to your tree? Your tree will wither and die, right? The best case scenario, if you focus on your team, is that the people on your team will stay, okay? That's the best case scenario. So what I want you guys to think about is if you want your team to grow, you cannot get stuck in the tar pit of team support. It's not that supporting your team is bad. It's just a question that you need to be focusing on the I do phase first, yourself as the leader of your team. Think about it. The word leader, what it indicates, right? The word leader means that other people are following you. If you're spending all your time on your team, what will they do? Spend all their time on their team. Then whose team's going to be growing? No one, because you're not bringing in new challengers. You're not bringing in new coaches because you're all in team management mode. Now, I'm sorry, I'm kind of up on my soapbox about, getting stuck in team management mode. But guys, this is a phase where so many coaches get stuck. There's a reason why we see people plateau at Diamond, because they get stuck in trying to make their team happy and bending over backwards for them, and they're not growing new coaches, okay? So I'm going to give you guys a ratio of time for where you're at in your current business right now that we've seen to be very effective for people who are Diamond and maybe like 3 to 4 star. You want to be spending 80% of your time on bringing in new challengers and bringing in new coaches, okay? 20% of your time can be spent on team management, on helping them move forward and doing all of these, the things that you need to do. So I want you guys to stick to that 80-20 rule, all right? So now let's talk a little bit about how we can lock in the I do phase best and how you can stay in that phase. And then once you're there, how do you transition into the we do phase? The we do phase is crucial because as your team takes off, and you build diamonds, and you build star diamonds, and you get leaders underneath you, that is really where your business is going to be thriving, but you have to be leading from the front, right? John C. Maxwell uses this terminology. You can see the beautiful mountains behind me. He said, look, they say that it's lonely at the top. And he's like, that saying's so funny because you're not really a leader if you're at the top of the mountain all by yourself. You're a hiker, right? You're a true leader if you bring other people up there with you. You shouldn't be at the top of the mountain all by yourself. And that's what I'm going to say to you guys. You should be bringing in new coaches that are progressing and growing, helping other people and filling their pipeline and all that stuff. So I just mentioned the pipeline. I want you guys to really understand, how to position your business so you're set up for success, okay? Think of it this way. At the very foundation of your business, you have to be connecting with people every single day, building relationships of trust and adding value into their lives, right? As you do that with more and more and more people, what you will see is that all of a sudden, your business is going to start to grow. You'll get more challengers, you'll get more coaches, you'll get more leaders, all of those types of things. Like at the top of your business, you have the connections you make and the friends that you're adding value to every single day. At the bottom of the pipeline, you've got the leaders that are coming out of there. So a lot of us are like, how come I don't have more leaders? How come I don't have more coaches that are wanting to crush it? And usually the reason why that is because you're not bringing in enough people or connecting with enough people at the top of your pipeline. you're not having enough conversations. You're not having enough connections. You're not friending enough people. You're not connecting and building trust, right? So there's some phases in between really your, building trust, adding new friends, having conversations, and leaders. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about that. At the very top, you've got, your pipeline of friends, conversations, all of those types of things that you're doing, all that trust that you're building. And then your next step down might be something like an experience. So these type of experiences could be like a fit club that you do, like a live fit club where they come be with you physically, or maybe a virtual fit club where you guys work out together online. Or it could be a free group, like a free fitness group, a free clean eating group, a free water challenge, free butt and booty challenge. I don't care what it is, but it's an experience, right? So you take those friends, you get them into this free group, and then you're adding value, you're building trust, you're letting these people taste what it is to be part of your group. You're letting them see what peer support really can do for them. And then you move them to challenger, and then you move them to coach. And then at the very bottom, you're left with just a handful of leaders from hundreds or thousands of people you started with at the top of your funnel, right? So what I'm just going to tell you guys, if you want your business to grow, if you want that I do phase to be rocking and rolling, then you have to have these conversations. You've got to make sure that your pipeline is filled properly, right? Now, if you're trying to recruit way more coaches than you have customers, you're putting the cart before the horse a little bit, right? You need to make sure that you've got it in the right process where you're bringing in challengers who are having great experiences, and then you're building trust with them, okay? This is a big phase that you really need to focus on. If you're building trust with your challengers and you're helping them see why they'd be an amazing coach, if you're quantifying why that is with real tangible reasons why they'd be great, then it's easier to transition them from challenger to coach, right? If you're just telling them you'd be good, then that's okay. Maybe that might work for some, but for other people, they'll just say, you're just saying that. You're my coach, right? But it's more than that. You've got to watch what they're doing, and you've got to set up expectations. So if you tell them what you're expecting of your challengers and they follow through and they're rocking it out, for example, you should say, I expect you to lift each other up. I expect you to offer peer support. Peer support is what makes our groups phenomenal. The road of fitness is a rocky one. The road of eating clean and having healthy nutrition is a rocky one. It's not fun to say no to donuts and cookies and pizza and all the amazing stuff that we like to eat, but it's worth it if you can stay consistent and make healthy decisions every single day. Doing it on your own is tough, but when you have a support group there, you can make it through. You can ride that wagon over those bumpy spots in the road without getting bucked off the wagon, right? Can you guys tell I'm from Idaho? But enough talk about horses and wagons. Let's get back to, this peer support thing. Peer support is so, so important from your coaches to their challengers, and from you to your coaches. Like, they have to feel that support. They have to, be built up. And as you increase trust in each of these pipelines, you will transition people from one phase to the next more and more and more, okay? So that's a big one. Honestly, what I will tell you guys is that if you stick to the 80-20 rule, as you guys continue to rock your businesses out, as you guys stick in the I do phase and really open up your pipeline at the top with how many people you're connecting with and how much trust and how many relationships you're building, your challenge groups will be filled, right? And as your challenge groups fill, your coach pipeline will fill. And as your coach pipeline fills, your leader pipeline will fill. So that's huge. But what I want to ask you guys to do is quantify all of that stuff, okay? It's really important to think about that. Now, there's a poem called Father Forgets that is in 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, and it always makes me want to cry, because I'm a dad. I got 2 kids, and sometimes I forget what kids are like, right? I'm expecting my kids to be like an adult like me. Like, why are they thinking this way? Or why are they doing that? Or why is this happening? It's happening because they're kids. But dads forget that. I think sometimes moms forget that. Here's the thing, guys. When you are leaders, you're going to look at your team, you're going to look at your coaches, and you're going to be like, why are they doing that? Why are they being dumb? Why are they, not listening to me? Or why is this happening? And the reason why is because they're new, right? But they don't have confidence. They're just starting out. You've got to remember what it was like to be a brand new coach, okay? Put yourself in their shoes and think from their perspective and give them toeholds where they can step up continually and advance their business. Now, here's the thing. You give them, those toeholds. You give them the systems. You give them all those types of things that are great. But here's what you need to do. You need to make sure that you divorce yourself from what they end up doing. So if you've given them great results, not results, but as you've given them great systems and you've expressed confidence in them and you've done all of these things, then guess what? The ball has been passed to their court, and they have to make the decision of taking action or not. If your coaches are not taking action and they're not doing anything, spending more and more and more and more and more time on those people will not change anything. They already know what to do, guys. They know what they're supposed to do. They've been given the information. You've expressed confidence in them. You've done what you can to empower them. The ball's in their court, okay? Let them do with it what they would like. But you always be there to support them and all that stuff. But in the end, they've got to make the decision. So then we go back to the I do. So what you guys need to do is make sure you go and you find more challengers. You find more coaches. Because guess what? If you've got a handful of coaches over here that are stuck in la la land and they're not taking action, they're saying they want everything, but they don't do anything, then you've got to go find more coaches. Because for every coach that says they want it and doesn't do anything, there's going to be 10 of them for every one that you find that's really the go-getter, okay? So you've got to continue keeping that pipeline up and active. As that happens, your business will thrive. You will find people in your team eventually that will be the go-getters that are really going out there and making a huge impact in this trend of ending obesity, okay? But it takes hard work and it takes dedication. Now, I'm going to try and share this video with you. I hope that it records well. If it doesn't, I'll try and splice it in. But here we go. This is a concept I wanted to share with you guys, that as you're the leader, sometimes it feels like you're the first person on the dance floor, okay? Sometimes it feels a little bit awkward, but it can make a big difference. So I'm going to share my screen and we'll watch this video really quick. I'll kind of narrate it as it goes. All right, so here we are. This dude's obviously had a few too many drinks, right? There we go. So homeboy's had a few too many drinks. He's having fun, just being his dad's self, dancing. And, he's out there for a little while and somebody else joins him, right? Whoa, these guys are getting kind of creative with their dancing, right? So this guy's continuing to do his thing despite what other people think. He's just rocking what he knows he wants to do. And as he's doing that, he's got another person that's joining him along the way. You guys will feel, I can promise you guys will feel maybe a little bit goofy. As you're watching this guy, he's like, yeah, that's a goofy guy. But you guys will feel that as you're rocking your business out. You might feel a little bit awkward because you're doing this by yourself. But lo and behold, more people will join you as you make it clear that you're out there to help people, and they can feel that you're sincere about giving them good fitness results and you're building trust with them, right? So continue rocking your dance moves, and more people will come. See, all of a sudden it becomes this party, and you've got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 people that are rocking it out. All of a sudden you're not that weirdo by yourself rocking it in the middle of a concert anymore. You've got this whole group of people that are having fun with you, right? I think you guys get the concept. You know, things start to get crazy. More and more people will join you along your journey as you guys are confident about being a leader, right? So I'm going to stop this video really quick. All right, so sometimes it's going to feel a little bit awkward. Sometimes it's going to feel like you're doing this all by yourself and you're just spinning your wheels. But what I can promise you is that you are not, okay? What you guys do makes a difference. What you guys do changes people's lives. What you guys do is so needed in our community. Whenever I look at a business, I look at, okay, is this product something that people need? Is it an oversaturated market? Are people delivering this result already? And what I'll tell you is, yes, people really need our product more than ever in the history of the planet. And two, no, other companies are not providing the results. Gyms and stuff, they don't work. Almost nobody goes that buys a gym membership. What you guys do matters. People need you. And as you continue rocking things out, even if it feels like you're that weird guy on the dance floor, I promise you, your business will move forward. You will change lives. And as you create more people, they're going to change more lives. And as you know, these leaders are getting out there and rocking things out, what's going to happen is they're building your team with you, right? You're not the only person anymore that's working on this. All of a sudden, you've got a crew of people who are changing people's lives. And along the way, they're building your volume, right? You're building your team. You're going to rank advance more. You're going to get more revenue. You're going to hit more elite points. You're going to do all of these things, but that happens through duplication, right? So put yourself in their steps, help them figure some of these things out, empower them with trust and confidence and with systems that work. And as you lock these things in place for you and you fill your pipeline, you stay in the phase one mode, in the I do phase, things will move forward for you. You will continue to build your business and things will be great. You'll help tons of people along the way, and your revenue and income and rank advancement and recognition and all that awesome stuff that you're looking for will follow, okay? So I just have to say, honestly, I'm super flattered that I was asked to speak with you guys. I love working with Molly and Caitlin, obviously two fantastic individuals. Team Heart and Hustle, what you guys do matters. Go out there and change more people's lives. Thanks for having me on the call. Thank you.